comment. Juanita Gaeta, partial owner of the cantina. I do want to clarify that whenever we did call the police over for the broken windows, it was a gentleman that came in. I don't know where he came from, very intoxicated. We refused to serve him. Security escorted him out the front door, and that's when he came very angry and started throwing bottles, punching our windows from the outside of the bar. And then also with the other incident with the shooting, that I later learned of who it was, the shooter, we'll call him. He was in our bar. He was there that morning. As a matter of fact, they asked if they could finish their last drink while we were cleaning and mopping. He was not fighting with anybody. He did not seem violent. It was just him and two of his buddies sitting there. No sign of violence at all. No signs of fights.
And my comment to that is that it's very, very difficult. Again, when we respond to a call, a lot of times it is outside on the sidewalk, and a lot of times it is out front, and a lot of times it is the bar owner or tender or security who calls us. That's wonderful. The difficulty we have is when things continue, and again, they go from one bar to the next, and where does the problem really begin? That's difficult, and that's why I say I'm going to be very careful. We in our society like to blame, but I'm going to be very careful to bring a complaint that might be something like that. They're the ones that call. They're the ones that are trying to be responsible. It started there. They're trying to be, again, responsible and do the right thing. A very difficult incident occurred after that. So, thank you. And again,
I just want to clarify that.
I just want to make sure we're clear that we're trying not to blame anybody. It's just, I'm just telling you, this is just what happened.
Other comments of the weekend incidents?
Steve Andrus, 14. All of these incidents with the DUI on Mountain City Highway, along with Jeweler, all the people that were involved in the shooting. How many, out of all those people, how many alcohol-related crimes have they committed? Or what kind of history? Now, you might not have that information, but it's a curious question, because if they're repeat offenders, maybe stiffer penalties.
Take that question to go into the next agenda item, because it talks about doing an investigation.
Tony Stowe for the record at Elko. I'm trying to figure out, the newspaper said 12 to 20 fights downtown. The chief said 5, I believe 4 or 5, but 14 total. So is domestics that aren't downtown getting lumped in the fights they're counting downtown?
A domestic violence call is a domestic violence call. It's separate. It's a fight, but it's categorized differently than a fight. And if a domestic violence happens in a neighborhood, it's not being lumped in with the problems in the downtown.
Okay, you had 14 you said were reported.
We had 14 reported. We had a half a dozen or so that we averted, plus the weapons call, plus the medical call, 2 medical calls. So overall, we had over 20.
Are those all in the downtown area,
Yes.
Chief?